I'm Tim Herrera with the Sacramento County Office of Education with one of our Teachers of the Year from the county. This is Anna Ampania, one of two Teachers of the Year from the Twin Rivers Unified School District. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us where you teach and what you teach.
I teach at Woodridge Elementary School, and it's kind of in the Foothill Farms area, and I teach first grade.
Tell us a little bit about your class.
Well, I'm getting a new group on Wednesday, so I really don't know what I'll be getting this year, but first grade's fun.
Why do you like first grade?
I like the whole reading acquisition time, and it's amazing to see what they can do starting at the beginning of the year and seeing the big jumps that they make in reading and in math by January. So they become independent. They don't come in that way, but they become independent and become real learners, and it's really fun.
Well, now, plus they go from kind of a half-day kindergarten to a full day.
We actually have full day at
Oh, you
our
have full
school,
day, so
day
once
kinder.
you get the students, they're already ready. For
It's actually
the full day.
a lot easier transition now that
Yeah.
they've had full day kindergartens.
So how long have you been teaching first grade?
I've been teaching first grade for 5 years, same school.
Same school. So how in total time as a teacher?
5 years,
5 years.
and then 1 year of subbing.
Okay.
So
So that's been a short amount of time, relatively new for a teacher, but have you seen some big changes in the students even over that short period of time?
I have, and this year really, and I don't know, every group you get is so different, so you can't really, it's hard to compare one, it's like apples and oranges, one group to another, but I feel like I've become such a more comfortable and confident teacher that it shows in my kids' efforts and how excited they are to be at school and their progress.
So as a teacher, what are some of the challenges you face in the classroom every day?
Well, some of the challenges are just their family life, the things that they're faced with outside of school that can affect how they do in school. And it's really sad. We have kids who are homeless, labeled homeless, and kids whose families are fighting diseases or who are really sick, and kids who have some deeper needs other than just academic that you need to meet. And it can be disheartening, but I love all my students.
So as a teacher, how do you strike that balance of supplying all the needs?
Well, I think you create a personal relationship with each student you have and with their families. And if you get their families on board and they feel comfortable and they trust you and they're willing to open up themselves to you, then it ends up not being that hard because they know you're there for their children, and the kids know that you're not going to give up on them.
Now, when you're dealing with youngsters that age, do you find it difficult to motivate them, or do you feel that first graders are still excited about school?
I think first graders are still excited about school, but even when you're 6 or 7, they already develop these ideas of either not being smart or not being good at reading or not being good at math. They already kind of have that in their head. So, it can be difficult. I had a student last year who all year she loved being at school. She was very social and loved all her friends, but she wasn't necessarily there to be a learner. And it took me fighting tooth and nail with her, and sometimes we both cried, but it took me a good part of the year to help her realize that she is a learner, that she can do it. And even though it might be harder for her, that she could accomplish things. By the end of the year, she would call herself a real reader, where before she would tell you she's not good at it, and by the end of the year, things that she would have given up on, because if she did, she was a child who, if she didn't get it right away, it was too hard. And by the end of the year, she was taking steps, self-monitoring, and realizing it's not easy, but I can get there, and taking little steps in order to meet her goals in math and in reading. So.
Well, once you go from learning to read to reading to learn, it's a big jump.
Yes, exactly.
It really is. So you've got the motivation as far as the students, but what about parents? You deal with some difficult families in your district sometimes, and so what are some of the things that you do to kind of motivate the parents to get involved when they can?
I think it can be difficult, but I choose to not even think of it that way. It can be difficult, but from the very first day of school, I think I really try and do a decent job of making sure that parents always feel welcome, that they know that I'm there for their children and for their families, and communication is key. They know that I'll call them, I'll write notes to them, I'll ask them to come in, and newsletters, and some even have email. So some of them I actually, a couple years ago, I had 3 parents that I emailed daily to help meet their child's needs. And also we do events. I do events with my first grade team for the parents and for the children, and we have a musical we do for first grade. I mean, that type of thing where the parents feel welcome on campus. They come on campus. They're not afraid to come and see what we're doing, and then they feel like a part of the school. And doing that, and when the parents feel like you care about them, their family, they're more apt to listen to you when you need their help with reading and writing at home.
So they feel committed to the school.
Yes.
And that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. Definitely.
Drawing the parents into the classroom.
I don't necessarily think it comes natural to me, because I feel that's kind of how I teach. It's like a personal thing. So actually I taught martial arts for 15 years. So it's kind of, if you got the parents on board and got them entertained and inspired them to help with their children, they actually would do better in martial arts too. So that kind of experience, I think, really helped me to where I never had this fear. It's not a separate thing. It's all of us together. We're a community. We're a team, and I can't do it without them. So.
So what motivated you to become a teacher? What brought you to the profession?
I've had, obviously, everybody has teachers who have come into their lives that have really made an impact. And my school librarian, who actually still teaches at the elementary school I went to, she was a big inspiration for me. I was a good reader in that I could read, but I had a low reading comprehension. So I could read anything that someone would put in front of me, but I didn't really feel like a strong reader. And it wasn't even anything necessarily that I told her, but she would take personal interest in the kids. She'd find out something that I'd like and lead me to a certain book. She opened my eyes to literature that I wouldn't even have picked out. She found out I liked history, and then in 6th grade it was ancient civilization. So she opened my eyes to the Odyssey, and she recommended poetry to me, and I never really thought I would read poetry for fun. So, and it's neat. She still remembers some of the reports I did and the books that I used. And I went back and saw her after I got my degree and stuff too, and she could still tell me what, and that's that right there, that personal relationship, the fact that I knew she cared and she wanted me to do well, inspired me. My martial arts instructor that I've known for 20 years, I was really shy, and my parents traveled because my dad was in the military. So when they actually settled in Sacramento, they had me take martial arts, and I didn't want to go. But after that first day, it was almost like a family created at that school. And I think he saw my ability, not just in martial arts, but my ability to work with other people, and he nurtured it. And I ended up teaching martial arts, and running a dojo for him through college. So. And actually, there was also another teacher who, I think too, that opportunities that might not have been there, once a teacher sees an opportunity for you and basically hands it to you and says you can do it. I had one teacher, her name was Fran Martin, who she introduced my family to the academic talent search through Sac State. So out of 6th grade, I was already college bound from being able to take courses at Sac State through the summer. And if it was not for her, I wouldn't have known about that program, and I wouldn't have already decided this is what I'm going to do. So, it's funny because I think about, you don't know the one moment that a teacher affects your life. And for like Mrs. Shadati, my librarian, it was the moment that she would show us different books and read to us. And for my instructor, it was him cultivating this little girl into a strong, independent woman who ends up being a good teacher. And then for Mrs. Martin, just opening my eyes and letting me experience what the college campus was like so early on, to where I knew that there was no other possibility than to go to college.
So you were fortunate. You had some really good teachers all throughout your life in different phases of your life.
Yes.
Well, congratulations to you, Anna Ampania, one of 2 Teachers of the Year from the Twin Rivers Unified School District. We appreciate your time, and again, congratulations to you.
Thank you.